Have you ever noticed how some of the richest people on the planet try to look, well, kinda average? They drive old cars, wear the same plain outfits every day, and live in houses that don't scream, "I have billions in the bank." Meanwhile, people who aren't even close to being rich are out here flexing designer clothes, luxury cars, and exotic vacations for the world to see. So what's really going on? Why do billionaires downplay their wealth? Is it just personal preference? Or is there a bigger game being played? And more importantly, what can you learn from this strategy that could actually help your own finances? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never see a billionaire's humbled lifestyle the same way again. The billionaire image game. Let's be real, billionaires are not like you and me, but they really want you to think they are. Why? Because looking relatable is a strategy. When a billionaire dresses in a $20 t-shirt instead of a $20,000 suit, people see them as humble, hardworking, and down-to-earth. And when people trust them, they get more investors willing to put money into their companies, more customers who feel good buying their products, happier employees who are less likely to demand higher wages. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they still live like billionaires, flying private, owning multiple mansions, and enjoying luxuries most people can't even imagine. The truth is, many billionaires hire entire PR teams to carefully craft this relatable image. It's not an accident, it's a business move. But how exactly do they pull this off? And why does it work so well? Let's break it all down. 1. Poverty peacocking, the new flex. You've probably heard of stealth wealth, when rich people buy expensive things without making it obvious. Think, driving a regular-looking car that costs six figures or wearing a plain sweater that's secretly designer. But what billionaires do isn't just stealth wealth, it's something completely different. Let's call it poverty peacocking, the art of flexing how little they care about money, while still living like billionaires behind the scenes. Examples of poverty peacocking in action. Warren Buffett is famous for driving an old Cadillac and living in the same modest house he bought in the 1950s. But what doesn't make headlines? He owns private jets, a security team, and a multi-billion-dollar empire. Mark Zuckerberg, the man wears the same gray t-shirt every day. Sounds simple, right? Except those shirts are custom-made by an Italian designer and cost hundreds of dollars each. Elon Musk, he once claimed to be living in a tiny $50,000 home near SpaceX. Turns out, he actually spends most of his time in an 8,000 square foot mansion. Why do they do this? Because people love the idea of a rich person who doesn't act rich. It makes them seem humble, hardworking, and relatable, all qualities that build trust with investors, employees, and the general public. But make no mistake, billionaires know exactly what they are doing, and they are using it to their advantage. And that brings us to reason number 2. 2. Selling you the dream. The easiest way to sell something, make people believe they can have it too. That's why billionaires downplay their wealth. They don't want you to think it was luck, privilege, or connections. Instead, they make success sound simple, like, oh, I just worked hard, saved money, and made smart choices. Why? Because when people believe success is simple, they are more likely to buy into their businesses, courses, and investments. The self-made illusion. Ever seen those millionaire influencers posing in front of a Lamborghini, saying, I started with nothing, you can too. But here's what they don't tell you. The car is rented. Their wealth comes from selling courses, not real success. Their main goal? Getting you to give them your money. If it were so easy, they would possibly want to keep the idea from the public, but instead they are selling their courses. This is their own business strategy. You can call it paying for one's intellectual property. They've put a price on it. Their wealth isn't really gained from putting what they've learned into action, but from selling their courses. Now, billionaires do the same thing, just on a much bigger scale. When a CEO brags about eating at McDonald's or driving an old car, they are pushing the idea that wealth is about good habits, not good luck. And sure, habits matter, but what they don't mention, 60% of billionaires inherited money. They didn't start from scratch. They had connections that gave them access to exclusive business opportunities. They got insider deals, tax breaks, and investments that most people never even hear about. If they admitted that, would people still worship them? Probably not. But here's the real problem. This mindset isn't just misleading. It actually hurts people. And that's what we need to talk about next. 3. Making you feel guilty for spending money. You've probably heard this before. If you just stop buying lattes and avocado toast, you will be a millionaire. Sounds simple, right? But here's the thing, it's complete nonsense. Every time a billionaire brags about being frugal, like living in a modest house or driving an old car, it tricks people into believing that money struggles come from spending too much. Reality check. Skipping Starbucks won't make you rich. Earning more money will. You'd only be able to save $1 or $2. What actually fixes money problems? Negotiating a higher salary. If you're underpaid, no amount of penny pinching will fix that. You need to earn more to save more. Learning valuable skills. The more in demand your skills, the more you can charge. There's a lot of skills now which you can learn, like copywriting. Starting a side hustle. Instead of cutting back, focus on adding income. Start a business or build up on the skill you have acquired. But here's the problem. Billionaires don't want you thinking about that. They'd rather have you believe that if you're broke, it's your fault for not being frugal enough. Why? Because if people blame themselves, they won't demand better pay. See how that works? The less you fight for higher wages, the more they keep in their pockets. 4. Protecting their wealth and power. Ever wonder why billionaires try so hard to seem just like us? It's not just about looking humble. It's about keeping people from asking tough questions. Because let's be real, if a billionaire is constantly seen on mega yachts and private jets, people might start saying, wait, if they have all that money, why aren't they paying their workers more? But if that same billionaire is out here wearing a hoodie and eating at McDonald's, suddenly no one's questioning where their money comes from. It's all about controlling the narrative. Many billionaires spend millions on PR teams to carefully craft this image. They know that if they look too rich, people might start demanding higher wages, pushing for workers' rights, calling out corporate greed. That's why companies love a CEO who dresses relatable. A boss in a hoodie feels down to earth. A boss in a $10,000 suit feels greedy. And when workers feel like their boss is one of them, they are less likely to unionize, ask for better pay, or fight for change. See how that works? It's not just about fashion, it's about power. Pretty smart, right? So, what can you do? Now that you see through the game, here's how to avoid falling for it. 1. Stop comparing yourself to billionaire frugality. Their version of humble is just a PR stunt. Wearing a $500 plain t-shirt isn't the same as shopping on a budget. 2. Focus on making more, not just spending less. Cutting out coffee won't make you rich, earning more will. Learn high-paying skills, negotiate your salary, or start a side hustle. These are the things that'll help you. 3. Question the billionaire success stories. Are they really self-made? Or did they just market themselves that way? Most had massive advantages, connections, generational wealth, or access to opportunities regular people never get. Not all of them started out the way they say they did, and trust me, it's not as easy as they say to build wealth. At the end of the day, billionaires pretending to be poor is just another business strategy. Now that you know the game, you won't fall for it. Let's hear it. Who's the biggest poverty peacock, in your opinion? Drop a comment. And if this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share it. Because more people need to see through the illusion. See you in the next one.